What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will be ranking color film stocks. Specifically, I'm ranking 35mm color films that are still in production. I wanted all of the film stocks that I include in today's video to be readily available to consumers, so I didn't include any discontinued film stocks, at least not any that have been confirmed to have been discontinued. There are a few Fuji stocks on here, so you can make up your own mind about that. If you see a film stock in this video that you're interested in buying, you can click my affiliate link down in the description below for Freestyle Photo LA, and if you buy it through them after clicking on my link, then I get a share of the profits, which is really nice for me, and it really helps to support me and the channel. So you get film, and I get financial compensation for my labor. Everybody wins. So before I start ranking these color films according to the scale, I'm going to explain the scale to you a little bit. So S-tier films are like the best of the best. They're absolutely perfect. If I had a magazine client who asked me to shoot entirely on film, I would use one of these S-tier films. No complaints, they do what they do perfectly and exceed expectations. A-tier films will be ideal, no flaws, good all-around films that produce consistent results and that basically meet expectations perfectly. B-tier films are gonna be kind of weird and unusual films that fill their niche well, or classic versatile films that I have no complaints about. C-tier films are gonna be films that try to do something unique and interesting maybe, but don't quite reach the bar. Or they're gonna be color films that strive for color fidelity, but miss the mark. D-tier films are gonna be films that either don't strive for anything interesting or go for a novelty approach, but miss the mark. Maybe they're too niche, too difficult to shoot with, etc., etc. I forgot about the E tier when I was putting this list together, so there will be no E tier films. And finally, F tier films. These are gonna be terrible films that aren't worth buying. And honestly, I am too nice, so there probably won't be any F tier films either. E and F just exist as like a conceptual bottom, if I'm being honest. So in addition to these like descriptions that I've just given you of each tier, I'm also going to be including price as a metric in this list. So if a film is really great, has high color fidelity, fits its niche really well, blah, 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 but costs like $30 a roll, then that's gonna dock it some points. Alternatively, if a film is less than perfect, but costs like $10 a roll, then that's going to win it some points. So this is my very scientific scale that I'm using. And also, I have shot with almost all of the films on this list, and so this ranking will be based on my own personal experiences, as well as the professional reputation of these films online. All that said, and without further ado, I want to jump right in, and let's start with film number 1, Kodak Gold 200. Kodak Gold 200, I think everyone would agree, maybe, is a solid A-tier film. And the reason I say that is because it is quite cheap compared to other films on the market. It has a pretty high color fidelity, pretty good grain structure. I have no complaints. Certainly, if I was recommending a film stock to a beginner, Kodak Gold 200 would be my first choice. Next, we have Wolfen NC 500. This one is a bit tricky for me to place. First time I shot with the Wolfen films, I got really weird results, and the second time I got pretty normal results. I think I'm gonna put it in B tier. It's got a nice grain structure. The colors are not as high fidelity as I would like. I probably wouldn't shoot anything commercial or professional with it. Next we have a Fujifilm stock, and I actually don't like Fujifilm very much. I don't like the green cast that it has in the shadows. I am gonna put that in the B tier because it is cheap, it is accessible, it does have a decent color palette I suppose, but the shadows really throw me off. Sorry, Fuji. Next we have Kodak Ultramax. I don't have anything to say about Ultramax. For me, that's another B tier film. I'm gonna be kind of hard on Kodak because Kodak just dominates the market, and I want to give other film manufacturers a chance in this video as well. We've also got Kodak Color Plus. I actually really prefer Color Plus. I think I'm going to put Color Plus in the A tier. It is also like on the cheaper side compared to other color films. It's got a really similar look to Kodak Gold, so I feel like I would be hypocritical if I put it anywhere other than the A tier. One more Fuji here. We got Fuji Color Superia. B tier. Sorry, Fuji. Actually, I don't know. It could be A tier. But I hate the green shadows, man. I can't get by them. I don't ever really shoot with Fuji, and I can always tell when something was shot with Fuji. Sorry, Fuji lovers, it's just not for me. Putting that in the B tier. Next, we have Film Washi X, which I recently reviewed, if you're interested in checking out that review. But as you may know, Film Washi X, like Electro 100, Sanicolor 100, Pro Luminar 100, Reflex Labs 100, it's all Kodak Aerocolor. And Kodak Aerocolor, I have recently decided, is my all-time favorite film stock. So this is going to be our first entry into the S tier. Reason being, it has incredible color fidelity, great separation between different tones, particularly green tones, ultra fine grain structure. The way that this film renders detail is like unsurpassed. If you're looking for a really high quality professional film, Film Washi repackages Aerocolor, so go get yourself a roll of that. Highly recommend. All right, next we have some controversial options here. I was gonna make a Cinestill video this week. I didn't because I just don't have time or energy to make a full exposed video, but I do have like a 30-minute long Cinestill video in the pipeline, so stay tuned for that in the future. In the meantime, I'm gonna be honest, I do really love Cinestill. Like, probably my favorite film stock other than Aerocolor. It's great at night. The 800 ISO makes it extremely versatile. It also looks really, really cool when shot in daylight, so this is going in the S tier for me. Pretty much every time I visit a new city, I will burn a roll of Cinestill 800T there. Also on the Cinestill line, we've got Cinestill 50D. I had bad luck when I shot with it. I don't typically like lower ISO films because I find that they're not very versatile. Like, you pretty much have to shoot them on a sunny day. I shot mine on a super sunny day on a snowy mountainside. I figured that would be enough light, but the colors still looked kind of murky. Maybe I underexposed it. Not sure, but I wasn't super thrilled with 50D. I'm really sorry. So I'm gonna put that one in the B tier. I guess I gotta start putting things in the C tier too, don't I? Next we have Portra 400. This stock is really overpriced. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. A lot of people love it. I've never tried it because it is just too expensive. Like, I get mad at how expensive it is per rolls. I'm gonna put that in the A tier. A lot of people would probably put that in the S tier, but for me, the price is really killing some of those points. So that was all of my regular color films. Now we are going to be moving on to the fun/novelty color films, and I have a few of those here. So first off, we have Lomography's Lomochrome Metropolis. There's a lot of different opinions on this film online, and I understand why. I want to like it because I love Lomography. Like, Lomography is the best company on the planet. They recently made all of their 120 film like significantly cheaper just because they wanted more people to buy 120 film, and if that's not just loving what you sell, I don't know what is. So go buy Lomography products, they're incredible. This one though, I want to like it, but I'm sorry, I haven't had great results with it. I've shot like 3 rolls of it, so it's not for lack of trying, but it just never really gives me the look that I hope it will. This is probably gonna be the first C tier film. Shoots for novelty, kind of misses the mark. Next we have Lomo 400. This one is phenomenal. The Lomo 400 gave such rich color results, and the 400 ISO makes it an incredibly versatile film. I'm gonna put this in the B tier just because I don't know how reliable it is, but it's really good. You should try it if you haven't tried it already. It is now a new day. The sun set yesterday while I was filming the video, and my ring light broke like 8 months ago, and I haven't gotten a new one yet, so I don't have any options once the sun goes down, and I had to... Also, my makeup has changed because it's now Halloween and I'm dressed like a witch. Can you tell? It's better with the hat. So, resuming my ranking of color films, I had a look at the tier list that I started yesterday, and I've decided that I put too many things in the B tier. I'm going to be demoting a few film stocks down to the C tier. The film stocks I'm demoting are Cinestill 50D. The 50 ISO makes it very hard to shoot with. I found that the halation effect wasn't very pronounced either, which is kind of why you want to shoot Cinestill. Also going in C tier, I'm really sorry, is Wolfen NC500. I do really like this stock. Like, it hurts me to put it in C tier, but I realize that it's just not fair to put it in the same category as Fuji Superia. That just didn't seem right, and I didn't want to promote Fuji Superia, so I'm sorry, we're demoting Wolfen NC400. So with those 2 demotions in place, and with the B tier looking less crowded than before, I would like to proceed with ranking the rest of these fun/novelty color films. Next up is Lomochrome Purple, and nobody can deny that it's a cult classic, despite having very limited utility. I love what it does. I love the way that it shifts colors. I think its film chemistry is very interesting. I don't think it has a lot of practical applications. That said, it does fit a very unique niche, and it does it well. It goes for novelty, and it hits the bar, and it does something that no other film on the market can do. So I don't know. I am very tempted to put it in B tier, but we just spent some time flushing the B tier out. And I'm also thinking it's better than C tier, because C tier is kind of for things that miss the mark. I'm gonna put it in C plus tier, which is a newly minted tier that is halfway between C and B. And I believe also I will be putting Lomochrome Turquoise in that same category. That is also going to be going in the C plus tier. And Lomochrome Turquoise, similarly to Lomochrome Purple, shifts colors in really dramatic and unique ways. No other film stock on the market has the same look as this. Very nice stock. Yeah, C plus for sure. Should we demote? Should we demote Metropolis to D tier? I think we will. I'm doing it. I'm demoting Metropolis. Sorry for being too soft on these films yesterday. Moving on. We have Kono Monsoon. This film, I have a soft spot for. I have a soft spot for all film. I have a soft spot for it because it was one of the first, I think I have prints of it. It was one of the first films that I ever shot. It has like this super, super blue / green toning that is like overwhelming, tints the entire frame. That said, it doesn't have a ton of utility. It's not incredibly useful. I think I'm gonna put this one in the D tier as well. I just gotta populate that D tier so I don't feel so bad for Metropolis. Don't worry, there's other Kono films here that I like a little bit better than Monsoon, including Kono Delight. So this one I think is new. I'll correct myself if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it is. And I recently had the pleasure of trying out 2 rolls of it, courtesy of Freestyle Photo LA. And if you want to get some for yourself, I'm just gonna remind you that there is an affiliate link down below where you can buy it. Do that if you choose. Anyway, Kono Delight is an art film from Kono, and it is tinted to give this warm, romantic, golden glow. I think it's beautiful. I'm gonna be reviewing it pretty soon, in the next couple of weeks for sure, so stay tuned for that. I think if you were like a wedding photographer or somebody who uses a lot of orange tones in your work, this could be a really beautiful film stock for you. I would definitely recommend you try it. That said, the price point on this film is quite high, and pretty much no matter where you go, you're paying over $25 for a roll of it. So that is gonna cost it some points, unfortunately. I'm gonna be putting this one in the C tier, and it is not because of the film itself, it's a beautiful stock, but Kono really needs to work on getting its price points down a bit before I can be rating their stocks any higher. The last Kono stock that I've got here is Kono Original Galaxy. There are a bunch more Kono stocks, there's like a ton of them, but I didn't want to do every single one because this video would be like 45 minutes long. So Kono Galaxy comes tinted with these beautiful rainbow patterns. Each frame has a different set of rainbows, so you get like a really nice overlay on all of your images. I don't think it has a lot of utility. I enjoy it because it's a beautiful lomographic stock. You get some really creative looking images, but I don't think that you can actually use it for much. Like, I wouldn't recommend shooting anything that you care about on this because the rainbows are going to be unpredictable and could obscure the image in ways that you don't anticipate, and I am going to have to put this in the C tier as well. And again, not because I don't like the stock, but just because I don't think that it is as useful as some of the other stocks on this list. The last film in my fun/novelty color films folder here is the film photography project Blue Ultra. The results look really cool, but there's one caveat with this film that is really gonna cost it some points. What do you notice? What do you notice about this film canister that kind of stands out? It has an ISO rating of 3. I don't know how I'm gonna shoot that. I think the lowest my camera meters is 25. So I'm gonna have to underexpose by several stops. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to shoot it. I'm gonna have to look it up. It's gonna be a pain in the butt. And for that reason, this guy is going down in the D tier. Moving on to the last bucket of films that I have here, it is pre-exposed films. So these films are pretty much all Kodak Gold 200, but with different patterns and overlays exposed on top. Now there's a whole genre of these pre-exposed films that are available on different retailers, so I've just selected a few that I am familiar with. The first is gonna be the BK-I-Fi grid film. I like the concepts of this film, but it was very expensive, very hard to find. The grid is very unpredictable. It's also not like a full grid, it's like a wavy grid, which is cool, but it really limits like the vibe that you can capture with this film. Overall, I don't think that I would recommend this film. BK-I-Fi, the company, has other films that are more versatile and look pretty cool, and they have a few other products that I would like to try out, so I do recommend checking them out as a company, but this particular film, it's going in D. After that, we've got Psychedelic Blues. This is a great one. I really enjoyed my time with Psychedelic Blues. There's a few different varieties. There's Psychedelic Blues 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, probably more. But each variety comes pre-exposed with a different shape of rainbow colors. The one that I tried was number 6, which has these geometric rainbow shapes. I quite like that, but again, the amount of like versatility that it has is pretty limited because the randomness of the shapes could obscure some important detail in your photos, and so if you're taking photos that you actually care about, I wouldn't recommend doing it on this film. But I am going to put it in C tier because I personally like it. Ooh, we're almost done. The last two that I've got are kind of both in the same category. They're both Revlog films. I've shot with both Revlog Tesla and Revlog Volvox. Revlog Volvox comes pre-exposed with green dots, and Tesla comes pre-exposed with lightning bolts. Probably my favorite film photo I've ever taken was taken on Revlog Tesla, so it's got a special place in my heart. But that said, I think these suffer from the same problem as the other pre-exposed films that I've talked about so far, in that they are so random that you can't really take photos that you care about on them because of the risk of obscuring details. I'm gonna put Tesla in C, and I'm gonna put Volvox in D+, which is a newly minted tier that I have made to accommodate Revlog Volvox. The reason why Volvox is a little bit lower than Tesla is because the green dots are a little bit overwhelming on the page and cover all of it, whereas the thunderbolts in Tesla only cover portions of the page and are easier to work around. So that wraps up my color film comprehensive tier list. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please let me know down in the comments if you agreed with my assessments. I'm gonna guess you don't. I'm sure everybody disagrees with me on the Fuji. I'm so sorry, that's staying in B tier. I'm holding my ground on that. But I would be very interested to hear where you guys would rank these different film stocks, particularly the more unusual ones, the pre-exposed ones, the color shifting ones. Let me know what you think, comments below. And also let me know if I missed any films that you're curious about, that you would like to see ranked. Maybe I'll do a part 2 if I missed enough. We'll see. So thank you guys so much for watching again. I will see you guys next week. And in the meantime, I want you to stay sharp and don't forget to keep shooting. Bye guys.